Better.
Frequently a few years ago, that sentence made sense. I've not played it.
That camera is not working there, so don't worry about it. Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. We're going to start .spring.io. So don't worry about it. Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. We're going to start .spring.io. So don't worry about it. Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. Don't worry about that. We're going to start .spring.io. So I'm going to create a job. I guess you want to call it a job. And that's my keyboard on the bottom right. So did you hear that? Are you hearing that right now? Let me get rid of that source. That source is goodbye. No, I don't want to delete it. I just want to. Yeah, there you go. Okay, because my camera. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a batch job. And this is a batch job that I've been trying to kick off for a while, but it's been in Java. And one of the... Ooh, hi. Okay, thank you. Oh, yay. Okay, yeah, I can hear myself 3 or 4 times. And also... There you go. Oh, you're gonna love that. So I'm monitoring myself on the other telephone right here, just to make sure everything's going good. I'm all alone now, and I can hear my own voices. You know how that is. So what we're gonna do is create a batch job. That batch job is just gonna load some data, CSV files, and then it's going to take that data, and it's going to push it into a database. And then it's going to exit. But before doing that, we're going to use the magic of Spring Boot, Spring Batch, which is our handy batch job utility API, and Kotlin, and Kubernetes. So, and Spring Cloud Dataflow. I know that sounds interesting, but it's not half as interesting as it is in operation, just because the other 3 things are literally operational. That is, we're going to operate it with Spring Cloud Dataflow and Kubernetes. I just deployed it to my local Minikube, and I'm just using it to launch my job. I don't want to have to load the Dataflow server and the Skipper server on my desktop using a command shell, but rather I'd rather have it managed by a virtualization service, by the hypervisor. That makes it all more easier for me to bring up and tear it down as I need it. So running tests on these things isn't quite as difficult as I want. You can only see video. Is that true? You can only see video? Transition? Hi. Okay. So let me see. Oh, I can't log in with my email address. Oh. Well, let me see what I can do here. Oh, I can see me. I'm fine over here. Yeah, I look good. Thank you. Yeah, we can see it. We can see my texts too. I'm not sure how to quiet those on Mac OS while I'm streaming with OBS, but let me see if I can do that. This is like one of those things where we can just test our workflow, and we can kind of test our day-to-day like thinking processes. This is one of those thinking processes that I'm going to test here live. Of course, building a batch job is one of them. But the second thing is, how do I make my computer completely quiet? Let's see, notification. There you are, notification. I want to make those things like, hey, do not disturb. Oh, how about we turn do not disturb on now? There we are. Oh, that's cool. So I made do not disturb turn on, and now I don't see my my text messages pop up on the banners. So that's good. But what I would like to also do is make my video appear. So if I can make my video somehow, some way, show up. If I can just use OBS, if I can just wield the power of OBS to make my video appear. But you see, it doesn't want to see my video, does it? I have an NDI video source? No, I don't have an NDI video source. That would be cool if I had an NDI video source. But I'll use my FaceTime camera. There we are. Hello. And that's a shirt on top of a, yeah. Get over here. You're mine. Okay. Okay, so we made a video source appear out of nowhere, and all that you had to do is hit transition, and video capture source will be smaller. I will put it up there. Now you guys, how are you doing? There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and transition that into our current scene. Alright, so that looks fine. I think you can see me, and you're going to see my code. Let's see what we have in terms of a code window. We have an IntelliJ open over here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to close that, and we want to go for another project. I'm going to close, in fact, I'm going to just close IntelliJ entirely. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to another desktop. Now all I see is, I don't see anything anymore. It's all gone. Mario, you messed it up. Somehow you got rid of everything. How are you doing? Oh, there you go. Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's imagine that there's actually something to watch here, and that thing to watch would be my desktop. And that desktop looks like start.spring.io right now, and let me make sure that we're getting that picture correctly. Are we really getting that picture? Is that a dead source? That is a dead source. Why am I getting a dead source? That's no fair. Let's go back to video capture device. Let's add an existing. You get over here. There you go. And there you go. Okay. So the NDI source is no longer working. I have an NDI source. So what NDI is, it's NDI will turn any device you have into a camera. So if you're going to, for instance, have a studio, or if you're going to have people out on, if you're going to have people on the, in the field somewhere, what you're going to do is use NDI to capture their video sources in real time and mix it in with your own, video output muxing. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to essentially transition, or not transition, but that'll allow you to basically capture and gather video sources from around the world. And so I've installed NDI on every single one of my devices, but I am sitting in a room which is completely wired. I don't have a Wi-Fi internet here. So what I did was I said, okay, well, I don't need Wi-Fi. I need wires, but NDI only responds to network traffic. It's a multicast source. So if you're dealing with multicast, you have packets everywhere, and Wi-Fi doesn't like packets everywhere. Wi-Fi will happily drop packets if you're in the wrong room, because I'm not sure if it's TCP. I guess it's UDP. So UDP is you never know if the packet's going to get received or not. So if you missed a packet, you missed it. So the long story short is I wired everything, and I don't receive Wi-Fi here, so I can't use my NDI sources here while actually working. So that's fine. But anyway, what I can do is I can use my start.spring.io source, and I can start coding, and that's a little bit easier than trying to manage the whole, NDI. All right, so we're going to probably not need Spring Reactive. We're going to just need Spring Batch. I'm going to add whatever I need later on. I guess for now, it looks like I just need to be able to read a CSV file and do it like quickly. So I'm going to hit generate. So I got this nice little project called Spring KT Batch, and I will go into one of my terminals, and I will say, yeah, that's me pinging everything in the world, because you never know. There we are. UAO Spring KT Batch.zip. So what we're going to do is just open that up in IntelliJ, and we'll get a nice little IntelliJ window loaded up here in a second. Yeah, pretty much like Frito packets. Frito packets, they come and go. Like as soon as you have a Frito packet, you know what happens to it. Some kid gets it, and next thing you know, they're eating it, and it's gone. And you're wondering, like, what happened to my Fritos? I have to go get another Frito packet. That's my retry. My non-acknowledged retry, obviously, because TCP is acknowledged. UDP is not acknowledged. So yeah, definitely Fritos are the UDP of snacks. They will disappear. They will go into the void, and your heart will be a desolate desert of wishes. Never received. So while this thing loads, I can go ahead and show you some data that I might want to have. So first of all, I've already set up the Spring Cloud, Dataflow, and I had been using the UI. I like the Spring Cloud UI is really cool. I could probably show you that in a minute, or anybody that's watching. But what I did do is I had some help from our friend Paul, because what happened earlier was I was unable to get my my Maria database working, and I wanted Maria to work. However, I kept getting an error, so Paul helped me debug this. Like last week, you probably saw, where I had a kget pvc. I had a I forget what PVC. It's a storage. It's a storage medium that Kubernetes keeps. It keeps storage about maybe a disk. I'm not sure. But what ended up happening was I had a PVC that was overlapping, and oddly enough, it actually didn't delete the thing that I thought it would delete. So I had to go and delete it myself. So I had to say k delete PVC and then the name of the PVC, and then I had to reboot my Helm packet, my Helm file, and everything worked. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's like really cool stuff, because I couldn't have done that without formatting my hard drive and making everything new again. So thanks a lot, Paul, for that. Now I can clean up after Helm files didn't delete my PVCs, and everything is happy again. Now, what I did was I installed Helm install the Bitnami version of Spring Cloud Dataflow. So let me show you the command that I used to do that. Bitnami. Okay, so I used Helm install. So this is a guy that got me to installing. So this is what you would type, Helm install that command. That would allow you to log in directly without having to start a forwarder. You don't want to do port forwarding. You can just use the service type being node port, and then you have a direct access to your container there. So essentially use the Bitnami Spring Cloud Dataflow. It's probably the most updated one. The community held one is probably going to be deprecated, and you will lose some functionality, or you will lose some bug fixes you probably want to stay with the thing that's going to be the most up to date. So go ahead and use Bitnami. Bitnami. This has been an ad for Bitnami. And then for registering your app, I have a simple app called FEMA Batch Job. This is the Java version of the app. It will essentially load a CSV file from the internet, and it will turn it into a bunch of CSV, or it will turn it to a bunch of SQL rows in a Maria database or a MySQL database, and then it'll quietly exit, or in that case, it'll just catastrophically kill the VM that was running the job, which is what we want. So this job is currently in my Docker container. However, I currently am at the level of needing to. Currently at the level of needing to. What I have to do currently is I have to install it to my local, not my local repository. That's another Tanzu thing. I have to install this to my Docker Hub repository first, because I'm not like really super kung fu on the cloud yet. This is one of those things where I'm kind of like stuck. I'm not super kung fu on the cloud. God, is that right? No, I am. I sysadmin for years, but this new cloud technology like Kubernetes and stuff just makes me go, oh, okay, I have to do that. And I see where the friction is for us developers having to test our software and having to find out how our software gets deployed. Well, I'm there. I'm a developer. I was a sysadmin for a while, and now I'm not a sysadmin. So now I'm looking at the sysadmin stuff going, holy crap, everything has changed. Now I have to use, now I'm going to use the cloud to admin my software and my system. Anyway, so yeah, I have to upload to Docker, and the Docker is my own repository. It's Mario Gray / FEMA batch job, which is the data source that I'm using. It's the FEMA data source. It's a CSV full of all the disaster lines, and it tells us when things have happened around the United States of America, and it tells us all sorts of points of data about how many people were affected, what location it was, what's the record of the disaster, was it a hurricane or which hurricane was it? It's all down to those numbers that will eventually suss out with yet another batch job. But basically, this is the source data that I'm using to obtain records of disaster responses by the Federal Emergency Management, Association. What does FEMA mean? What does FEMA even mean? Federal Emergency Management Agency. Thank you. The agency. I don't like using that word too lightly because agency means a lot of things. Okay, so let's get back to the code. Let's look at what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a batch job, and what we want to do is we want to go into our Kotlin resources, and there we are. So what is the first thing that I remember having to do here? La la la, la la. Did I wipe everything out? So let me, first of all, let me unregister everything. So let's go app unregister, name, FEMA batch, type task. And it looks like it already happened. Do I have anything in here? There are no registered apps. Good. It looks like we're at a pretty good standstill here. Okay, get pods. Everything is empty. Nobody, yeah, so as long as I have Skipper, the server of Spring Cloud Dataflow, server, Skipper, RabbitMQ, and Maria, I'm using that for my RD VMS. Then everything is fine. And let's go into another workspace, and at least I know that this was here a minute ago. I could go Mario Gray at disiridium.local, and wow. There we go. my username, my host name has changed. I was once in a Spring Cloud conference where the host name changed completely. Like, I had a host name, and then suddenly that host name had changed to me, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess none of my programs will work today because they expected my local host name, and now they're gonna not get that." Okay, so I'm just gonna look for a quick. Oh, get over here. There you go. Oh, come on. Sometimes I just can't type. Oh, really? I really can't type right now. Jeez. Okay, what do I need here? Right. Guys, we got this. Okay. So, I guess this is me starting up that batch app. So what we'll do is we'll say something like enable batch processing. Come on, yeah. There's one other thing that I think I forgot. Enable batch processing is one of them, but the other thing was, do I need one for task? Yes, I need Spring Cloud Task. So I probably want this so that I could run my tasks in Spring Cloud Dataflow, but I'm not going to add it just yet. I'm going to see what happens if I deal without it for a while, because I can always just do this. I can say, hey, give me my task. I already have a project, but I can exploit. This is probably the best thing about the new start.spring that I love the most, which is being able to explore the POM file that you might change. You might change your POM file in the middle of working on your project, and hey, I don't want to generate a project. I just want a specific resource. I want to be able to call up Spring Cloud Starter Task, and I just want to be able to work with that. And here we are. I can do that. So that's good, right? I mean, who doesn't like that? There we go. So Spring Cloud Starter Task is in there, but we don't really need it. We all know that. So let's say Spring Boot Application. I'm gonna just go ahead and say Enable Task, and yeah, you can do that. Enable Task. But shh, quiet for now. All right. So this is a Kotlin program. This is a little bit different from my Java program. Which means that my configurations are going to be slightly lighter. I want them to be lighter. I don't want to have to do... I would like there not to be as much. Cannot find the artifact, Spring Cloud Starter Task, unknown in Central. Oh, really? 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 Oh, really? 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 Am I hooked up to the internet anymore? I mean, really? Seriously? Are you on the internet if you can't find Spring Cloud Starter Task? Really? I mean, seriously, that's not fair. All right. I need a data source. You know what else I didn't add was H2. I'm gonna just add H2 for testing and stuff. So let's say H2 database. Okay. So we have H2 database. We're gonna add that. We're going to explore, we're going to grab that H2 out of there, and we're going to plop it into our, there you go. Okay, so let's add H2. We love H2, don't we? We probably want to add, yeah, I know what you mean, Mario. You're just a silly rabbit, aren't you? Yes, you are. So what we're also going to do is add Maria or MySQL. We want MySQL driver. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, now we have everything we need to make somebody happy. And that somebody is a batch job. Da 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 da. The batch job. Yeah, so that's our execution point right there. We're going to just leave this guy here, Spring KT batch application, just start your application. So don't worry about it. Let's create another class. Let's not crash our computer. First of all, that tends to happen every now and then. And we're going to call this batch configuration. Okay, so we have this thing called batch configuration. And this probably is where we want to add our enable, but what we'll do is a configuration. Thank you. Let's see if I want to write to a data source. That data source is going to be bean fun h2 data source. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to be, what is it? It was a invaded. You know, we don't even need that, do we? We don't need the curly braces. Set type and then set name. Okay, set type h2 dot name. Set name. This is going to be a batch, and then we shall build u. Okay. We have our data. We have a small data source. That's h2. That'll actually take care of me being able to go, hey, does this thing load onto a database, and do I need to worry about the database? I don't want to worry about the database. So what the database will do is just tear down immediately, and that's good. We almost never want to write like actual data to a database until we're in production, or we're no longer aware of the consequences of our data, as it were. The consequences of our data right now are that I have to do a lot more system administration to wipe the data, and I have to do a lot more coding to wipe the data than I would otherwise want to. So let's make the next thing. Another configuration is the batch job configuration, which will be a job get start increment builder. Okay, let's copy that. Let's look over here. Excuse me, computer. Can I have another one of you? There you go. I just need another computer. This is going to be a job fun batch job function batch job. Do I need anything here? I need a job builder factory. Job builder factory and configuration. S1 step step 1 configuration. Oh, we don't have that yet. Okay, so we'll just call it job builder factory. I need step 1 configuration. I need a few things. So, don't worry about me for now. I'm going to create another class called class step 1 config. There you go. So we're going to use this guy here later on. In fact, we should configure step 1 right now. So let's go ahead and hit new class and say step 1 config. Step 1 config will do some things that we want to configure the ingest with. So we want to ingest that. We want to ingest that CSV file, right? So we're going to say that, and we're going to say at step 1 is a log4j. We don't get that, do we? Boo. Okay. Alrighty. So, wow, you need a lot of stuff here. You need a few parameters. So let's create our constructor with what? Step builder. Step builder factory. We're going to need a data source. Got our handy, trusty, dusty data source. Yes, value file.location. So what we're going to do is also go ahead and inject the value. Oh, come on. Yes. Value. You need more value? Yeah, that's right. That's a correct value. Oh, this is Kotlin. Mario, you know what you're doing here. Uh-oh. What do you mean that's not there? Oh. You know you've done this before. Why are you? Oh. Ha. Okay. Config location. String. Okay. Why are you so... Why are you acting like this to me? What have I forgotten here? Which one of you is being bad today? New window. So in Kotlin, opening a value is slightly different. So let's see what I've done in the past. And let's make sure that I can redo that. Let's go to my resources and find any resources that I have. Cloud console, server address. Oh, I remember. Okay. So what I'm trying to remember is when you're doing this in Kotlin, it's slightly different. Slightly. Just like very, very slightly. I could probably like Stack Overflow this in like 10 seconds rather than looking to my own code base, which I'll do. I will happily do that. Let's see, Kotlin at value Spring. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, there's a Stack Overflow. Yeah, there is a slash. Okay, I was wondering. Wait a second. Oh yeah, these are late init vars. Oh yeah, late init var, Mario. Don't you remember late init, your friend? Like, don't forget, you owe me. You know, that type of thing. Yeah. All right, so these are vals. Late init var. Actually, no, you don't. These are injected. So, in fact, since these are injected, I don't need to worry about anything. Isn't that right? Yeah. I have a data source and I have a value. And let's see. Did I just have a stroke there for a second? I don't know. Like, what was that? You know, what is this? Why is this hating on me right now? But that's fine. We'll call it config lock for now. Just for now, people. Just for now. We'll come back to... You know, I hate errors. I know you hate errors, too. I hate errors, too. We all do. But Stack Overflow, right, man? You can use value with the constructor. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here, private val. Yeah, it's the slash $sign. Yeah, that's kind of what I did, but it still thinks that I'm bullshit. So, I mean, it still thinks I'm bull hockey. Am I reading that right? Yeah. Yeah, I am reading that right. Okay. Hey, get back over there. No, don't delete that. Let's get rid of this guy here. Thank you. Oh, okay. If I had to watch that one more time, I would die. Value high. Oops. Config. Not config lock, but data location or data path. Thank you. Okay. Oh, now it's fine. Oh, now it doesn't hate it anymore. You know what happens. Hi, Jay. Yeah, they can't. Exactly. I'm gassy. I'm gassy. You know what gassy means? It's brain gas time. The brain and the gas, they work that way. Okay. Is that the right way to say it? No. So I need this field set mapper. And a field set mapper has to read everything and return something. It has to read my declaration. And then it has to return a line based off of the data that it got. So it has to just translate, I guess it translates a map of strings to an actual like bean. Ooh, a bean. So what we're going to need is a bean called a Schema line, and we'll call that a Schema line, and I guess we can make that a data class, Schema line. And what we'll do is I'm going to make this as simple as possible. We can make this as simple as possible, and I'm going to cat like a single line of, ooh, you really can't do that, man. You can't even cat. Are you guys ready for this? You're not ready for this. Okay, here you go. Say it. No, I'm not listening to you, Siri. No, Siri.
I'm not sure.
Bye, Siri. Siri. Siri thinks she's so. She thinks she's so cool. Okay. Oh God, no! What did I just do? Oh God, what is this? What is happening? Oh my gosh. Okay. No, that can't be right. Oh. I wanted a data class, but I got this instead. Can I use it? I'm not going to change a thing about this. That's just going to work. Okay. No parameters. You lose. You lose. Okay. So let's go back to this data class. God. Let's call it Thema Disaster. Let's see if I could somehow write a regular expression. Yeah. Private val. Yes. Just turn it to nothing. Turn it to dust. Okay. So /::star nothing. Okay, regular expression turned on. Okay, so I'm going to turn everything after the colon into dust. Actually, no, into a comma. Okay, now replace those. Oh, that's better. Oh, you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you spoke too soon, buddy. You spoke too soon. Yes. So, excuse me. Excuse me while I write a regular expression. So, /::star. So everything after that's going to get deleted. Yeah. Oh yeah, it should be :string, right? :string, comma. Replace all. Ah, better. Better, but not perfect. I get it. Not perfect, but better. It could be perfect. Private val goes into nothing, replaces all. Okay. Okay. Okay, now you guys look like you can be put somewhere and behave. Why are you looking at me that way? Really, do I need a vowel for every one of you? Really? You know, there was a time in my life when I would happily do this. There was a time in my life when I felt I'm above having to write regular expressions for code for a text editor. That time of my life is that's a time of my life that's over now. That time of my life is gone. It's if you haven't written a regular expression for your code for writing an ordinary text document, then I suggest going back to school, Mario. That's exactly what that means. Just go back, because you're gonna need to write far more regular expressions in your life. You have way more regular expressions to write. You're not done yet, kind of thing, you know. You're not done yet. You need to go back into the back. You need to go back to the burner, Mario. That type of thing. All right. So we have our class. We have our little, you know, we have our bean, and we can now go ahead and stop laughing. Stop laughing. Why are you laughing? Type of thing, you know, like, don't laugh. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. Okay. So we know we're getting a field set mapper, and that field set mapper has to somehow convert. Ooh, that's not a string. That is a resource. That's going to be a file resource. Ooh. There we go. That's a resource, not a string, not an actual file path. Why would I have the file path in there? Yeah, that's true. You know, what do you mean, val? Private val? Val? Yeah, that would have been better. I mean, but you know, I'm happy now. You're not moving me off that boat. That boat has sailed. I like that boat. That's a good one. Okay, so, alrighty, let's go back here. Let's create my field set mapper. Let's say map field set. Oh, fun. Alrighty, so it dot field set isn't it? Okay, field set. I'll call it field set. Okay. Did I spell field right? I don't know. I never feel like I don't feel like I spelt a field set right. How do you spell field set? I don't know. I'm not the person to ask that question to. Deckle. Okay. That's all I'm gonna do now. See? That's all that I'm gonna do. FEMA disaster. And you know what comes after this? You know, just null. Just null, 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 null. 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 God. Sounds like my life. Null, null, null. That's my life. And you know you can't do nulls, right? Because you didn't. That's right, Mario. Boom. Oh. How about we don't use nulls? We don't like using nulls, do we? Let's not use null. Let's do something different. Let's change null into an empty string. There you go. Oh, that's better. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, why is this happening to him? Why won't it ever happen to anybody else but him? But that's one configuration. There is a bean wrapper field set mapper, and let's configure that one here. Let's try that bean. We didn't really need that, did we? Well, I did that for shits and giggles. I wanted to show you that you can take a string from a CSV file, and then you could map that string onto a bean directly, or you can do whatever you want with that bean, like return empty strings. But what if I don't want to do that? What if the power is wielded within me to have it done automatically, like Jackson would a JSON to a POM? I mean, a JSON to a bean. What if I had that? What if I was that person? We are that person. We're not the savage person that would use direct field mapping. We're not savage like that. You know? We're not savage. We're not you know, we're not living in the age of getting in trucks and you know, storming the neighborhood because you didn't vote my direction. I don't know. We're not that age. Oh, I like that. Default property values are a good idea. That will eliminate the noise of what you're seeing above is considered. What does Worcester Walter say? He says it's noise. Huh? I consider that LOC. That's lines of code. If I have to cross 1,000 lines of code, I'm going to use those lines of code too. I mean, I would fundamentally. So let's see, bean. Okay, so we'll go. And you know, when was the last time you typed, like literally explicitly made the type on something? Let's say dot apply. Did I do that right? What's wrong, man? BWFSM. Yeah, you love that, don't you? Bean wrapper, field set mapper. It kind of sounds like a rap game, you know what I mean? It just does. I'm sorry. It sounds like a rap. It sounds like a rap, like bean wrapper, field set mapper. Just, I don't know. Target type will be this guy here. Yes. All right, that's it. So set target type is going to be FEMA disaster. And then that's it. That's all we need. We just needed this guy. We don't even need to do anything else. We just needed that. We just needed that guy. We needed that thing. Literally, we needed that thing. You can use apply and you can just return the thing that you sent to the function. I returned that thing. Okay, so we have our bean wrapper, field set mapper. That's just my brain going crazy. So bean fun item writer. So what does the item writer do? Or I'm sorry, what does the item reader do? Bean item reader will be something that takes all of the columns from that CSV file and delimit it. It knows how to delimit a CSV file. It takes the CSV file and it returns a bean item reader. I'm going to copy a lot of these things here because there's no way that I'm going to try to type that out in a constrained amount of time. So let's go for it. Hi, are you there? There you go. Ah, yes. Okay. So we have a string. Val call names. Okay, so this is going to be an array of all of the column names of that particular CSV file, and there's a lot of them. There's like 100. I don't know. You saw how big that beam was. That was a 20. I would say it's 22 values per line. So yeah, this is a column of 22 values per line. That's all this is. It's just, I split it, and then we get a nice array. Now the next thing we want to do is return a flat file item reader builder. Skip the first line because the first line will be just a header. We don't want to read the header as if the header was an actual thing. Name, CSV file that we're going to read, resource. That's the actual file or data path. Data resource. Oops, sorry. Source. So we have a data resource. Good. Okay. Hi. Are you? Am I in the? Did I? Oh, Val. Data resource. There you go. Hi. Now you're back. Okay. Field set mapper bean wrapper field set mapper. We love to say that, don't we? Field wrapper, bean wrapper, field set mapper. I mean, that's actually a pretty good wrap name if I were to start my own computer wrapping group. Field mapper, bean wrapper, field set mapper. That guy is going places. Fun item reader will return a flat file item reader builder. Are there exceptions to be had? Are there? Are there? Required a unit. Didn't realize you cared. Well, I guess you do. Found a list of strings. Okay. Let's not do that. Delimiter. Delimiter. Dot name. Call names. Oh, I see. What are you looking for again, dude? You're looking for a string. Yeah, okay. I found a list of strings. Oh, you're really looking for a string? You're looking for a lot of strings. So I can say star call names, I guess. Isn't it? Don't you have to when you call, it's not the way it works. You just give it a star. Yeah, star args. Right. Okay. Let's see. Array tells arrays dot array. How do you say from list? Yeah, thanks. Arrays dot to array. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Yeah, nobody likes that. Nobody wants to array. What is to array being replaced with? What am I supposed to use instead of to array? It returns an array containing all of the elements. Well, I like that, but this has been deprecated. Oh, generator. Oh, I don't want to do that. You. No. Call names. I know I remember how to do this, but why aren't I? Split arrays dot from list. There is a function method that I'm missing here. As list. Oh, right. Okay. Gosh, I can just Stack Overflow it, I know. I know this. I know the question. I know the answer to the question. If you could find it for me right now, if you're there. Array of. Thank you. Whoever said array of deserves a medal. Deserves or 2 medals, maybe. Whew. Boy, that took forever. Required, found, array of list. Ow! Okay, that's not the same. Why do you still hate me, computer? I gave you a star. What do you want? You wanted the star, you got the star. Okay. Okay. We can patiently go back to the thing that we were dealing with earlier. How about that? To list. I have a list. I want lists to array. Arrays as list. Yes, I've seen that. I've done that in the past as list. I want to go from list to array. Kotlin. List to array. It's very simple. Not arrays to list, but the opposite way. Wait. Am I thinking too hard? Have I actually thought too hard? Have I had one brain cell literally leap from my brain into the toaster that is this keyboard? Does it matter? Yes, it does. Because I said split. So what did split give me? It gave me that. And arrays dot from list. Is there like a from? Oh God, what is it? Get back there. Collections. Oh, this is hard. Oh, that just hurts. Now I have a red line here. Now I got to deal with the red line. Oh, okay. We're just gonna deal with it for now. Okay. Names. We have one name to put. Literally one. I'm going to write a quick to-do. To-do. Don't be lazy. Rewrite this section. Damn you. Not damn you, but darn you, because we don't like using bad words. Okay. So we have a data source. We have our batch job with our step configure with our step builder. We've got our bean mapper. We have got our original field set mapper that we don't really want to use. We've got our item reader, the thing that will read our flat file and turn it into the bean that we want. And then next, we need a processor. So we want a processor. What does that processor look like? Okay, in Spring Batch, we're going to need the processor to return something. It needs to return the line that we want. So whether we do something to the line or we don't want to do anything to the line, it doesn't really have to do much other than process a single line. We can uppercase the line. We could turn the line into some sort of encoding. We can do whatever we want with that line. But in this case, we're just going to do the following. Oh, yeah, no. Item processor doesn't do that. My bad. So it's a processor, which means you have an input and an output. So the input's a FEMA disaster. The output is a FEMA disaster. No biggie, right? Right? Okay, so remember how I said we can do anything we want to that thing? Well, what if I did this? What if I said declaration string? You know what? No, that's going to require me to put the entire, like you said earlier. If you get rid of all that noise in the data class, you would have been fine. But you didn't. You didn't. You're just going to have to return it, man. Yeah. And you don't like that either. Type mismatch return it. This is just an interface. Oh, it's just literally a lambda. So we're going to return this lambda here. Okay, so let's return that lambda. Literally. I don't need it, actually. I don't need an item processor. Item processors don't have to happen because I have nothing to do with the item. And so if I'm not transferring the item, then I'll probably just leave it alone. All right. So how about item writer? Do I need anything for the writer? No. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so this is where things get really complicated. Okay, that's nice. Want to become famous? By no, God, no, that type of thing. Let's write an item writer, Jdbc, batch item writer builder of FEMA disaster. Hi. Oh, you need to. Do we have a bot? I think we've got bots already. Jdbc item writer builder is going to do the following thing. It's going to apply. What we're going to do is we're going to say data source is going to be our data source, or this dot data source. What did we name our data source? Or DS. We named it DS. Okay, DS. Oh yeah, this isn't even fluent. This is an apply. And then we're going to say beam mapped. And then we're going to say SQL. Oh my gosh, we need to insert some SQL in here too. So we're going to need a string, and that string is going to hand us our SQL. Insert SQL. So we're going to need a string, and I didn't think about that earlier, but we're going to need a string that actually inserts the line into the database, given the parameters from the FEMA disaster line. So in this case, what we'll do is I will happily inject a insert SQL and take that from the application properties and push it into our application. Right. So question is, where does the SQL come from? Okay. So you don't know what that insert SQL looks like yet until we actually insert it. Oh, I needed that water so badly. Yummy. Alrighty. What else? Got a writer and our step. Ooh, my bad. Single step. That's what return a step. And remove that file. So when I did this in Java, I used a step, step 1 configuration, and then how do I do that? Let's see, step builder factory. I need my builder factory. Are you in here? Yeah, you are. Step builder. Okay. Excuse me. That's what we'll call it. CSV to DB step. Chunk. Read and write. Read 1800 chunks per second or per step. We'll chunk it. We don't want to read the whole thing if it fails. The transaction can happily roll back with not the entire file but like a chunk, and we'll be able to figure out which chunk it was and then triage it from there. You take yours afterwards. Excuse me. Oh. Am I still reading here? Reader. Where's my reader? Item reader. That's fine. Okay, so step builder, build me CSV to DB step chunk 1800 per chunk reader, the item reader that we had declared, the writer item writer that we had declared. Where's the item reader? Our item reader currently will read a single, because I'm too lazy to actually remember anything right now, so I'm just going to read the first column, and then I'm going to emit that first column to the item writer, and the item writer will use the insert SQL. That insert SQL will simply, it should look something like this. So what did I call it up here? Let's see, what are my parameter names here now? So I could start inserting them. So fema.insert.sql. Okay, so we have fema.insert.sql. I'm going to copy a bit of SQL here, just because it's a lot of find source cat resources. There we are. Oh boy, insert SQL looks fairly good. It's okay. It's a lot of SQL. You're not gonna freak out over the amount of SQL that you're about to see here. Nobody will. That's the old one. Okay. So all that does is say insert into a table called fema_disaster. But among that, it's really an upsert. So it says if we have a duplicate key, then just update it and ensure that the FEMA declaration string gets updated. because again we're lazy, and we don't want to type out the full thing. If we're just doing a demonstration, it probably shouldn't have to do the full brunt of a SQL update. So we just want the FEMA declaration string to update at the end of the day. All right. So we also need the FEMA file, the file location, and here is where the file location will be. It's going to be in my home. How about we put it in our like home data directory and call it FEMA.csv. How about not even that? How about we just call it like /home/FEMA.csv? That way we don't have to go looking for it later on. Or we can just delete it, or we can make whatever we want out of it. Okay. And then the next thing is Spring Batch initialize schema equals always. So we want Spring Batch to initialize our schema, since we're not going to have, well, at least running it right now, especially in H2, we're not going to have a schema. So what that means is when I set up my DS, if you noticed, my data source was set up here, and I didn't use a SQL file, and that's just because Spring Batch will do it for me. So I don't have much to actually work with, except for telling Spring Batch how to configure my database as it boots up. All right. So now that we have all of the steps needed to create the batch job, let's just go ahead and configure that batch job. Okay. So let's see, if I'm doing this correctly, it should be something like, okay, where's the batch job? You, sir. You need a job. FEMA batch job. It's my new stage name. FEMA batch job. Sorry. I can't help it. It's just the music is so good. Alrighty. Somebody, get me a job factory. You guys don't like that joke. It's okay. Factory dot get FEMA ingest job. Okay, that's you. Start step one step one. Oh, that works. Yeah, I don't even remember trying that. Incrementer. Run ID incrementer. What is a run ID incrementer? Let's find out. These are things that I want to know too, because I'm fairly new to the game of batch job running. Dave Sayer wrote it. Hi. And so did Mahmoud Ben Hassim. Okay. So what is run ID incrementer? Job parameters incrementer. Oh, okay, I know what that means. Interface for obtaining the next job parameter in a sequence. Yeah. So remember, if you ever ran, like, you know, the Computer Associate Systems batch job runner on a mainframe, and you had to like put in the sequence of the batch job, no matter what the batch job name was. This is a thing that actually creates the next sequence of the batch job. So if it's from a database or if it's from some data service out there, this is going to increment the batch job in that fashion. So it could be a monotonically incrementing number somewhere that just gets inserted into a database and tells us which job ID that ran. And that's very important, because later on we're going to have to triage that job when it fails, or when it, when it abnormally exits, right? So those are good things. So Spring Batch is pretty freaking awesome for running batch jobs that are transactional and ultimately leave a traceability trail that we can trace back to what originally executed the job. I know I don't give it any justice. But it's one of those things that I just want to like wrap my head around and hopefully put it into my own data services my little project I have called Demo Chat. so that I can read data from like Pinterest as a batch job, right? But that's later. That's that. Right now, I'm just learning how to do this thing in Kotlin because I don't want to do it in Java. I want to do it in Kotlin. I love Java, fine, but you don't have to. Um, you don't have to slam my head against the wall to get Java out of me. I just want to write Kotlin, man. All right. So if anything, I probably configuration properties. Oh, we have everything here. It looks like I can start compiling. All right. Okay. Let's start compiling this guy. This is scary. Oh, so, oh, God. Yeah, you really hate that, don't you? Oh, what did I do to you? Oh, look what you did to me. Oh. Jeez. Didn't even put that in the right place. There you go. God. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I should be like coding right now. Like it's about 1:15 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Oh my God, I'm probably done. They probably kicked me offline already. But I probably shouldn't be coding until about 4 p.m. my time. Right now is like perfect time for me to read and gain inspiration and realize the world that I live in and how much I love it and things like that. I typically won't code until like much later in the day, so that's not an excuse. It's just me. Oh, ow, oh, ouch. Oh, that's an exception. What is all that exception? Why? Ow, that hurt going down. Jeez. Oh, gosh. FEMA.batch.location. Oh, God. Wow. Holy crap. Ugh. Ouch. Jeez. Man, that hurt going down, didn't it? Like, did you just see... See how big that exception was? That was like a mile long. I thought I was running a reactive app for a second. Okay, so because that ran, I'm going to go ahead and move on, and I'm going to freaking Dockerize this guy. This guy's going to get Dockerized. Now, what do you mean by Dockerized? Like, what do you mean, man? You're scaring me already, right? Yeah, part of the example was that I would write this in Kotlin, and I kind of did. Like, you saw how I chinched around and got, like, so much of a Kotlin program written. That's not really Kotlin, but more like a hacktified Kotlin that I just rushed together using almost the skills of my chat, which are better than what was in my head at the time, obviously. But what I'm going to do is I have to make this thing run in Kotlin. I mean, I have to make this thing run as a Docker container. So there's a couple of ways I can do that. I can use Spring Boot. I can do this. I can say maven clean spring. Maven clean Spring Boot : I think it's build image. Is that the right one? Is that the right goal? Build image. Because Spring Boot utilizes the CNCF, the cloud native build packs in the background, which is a pretty useful utility for not having to write Docker files. Right. And so, in order for that to work, you have to tell You have to have it in your environment. So what I will do is say eval mini cube docker and so I'm going to push docker environment tables into my environment variables, and then I'll rerun build image. So again, this is going to kick out a CNCF build pack based Docker container. So it's got layers. I have not configured it at all. I haven't even configured an execution point. But let's see. If I were to run Spring Boot :run, it will find the main class, and I'm imagining that we already have a main class. That's all we need is a main class, and that main class will get executed in a Docker image as well. So Spring Boot knows how to do everything. I'm giving a lot of I'm giving it all to Spring Boot right now for building my Docker image. I haven't even configured the CNCF, the build pack, execution entry point, which I will do later on. But for now, I'm going to be happy with it just executing the image. I can possibly run that image in Docker alone without even scheduling it via Spring Cloud Dataflow. But then I will once I'm able to run it in Docker, then I will say, okay, it's good to go to Spring Cloud Dataflow. Then I'll schedule it there. And yeah, it's almost done. 72%. Eat some yogurt. Talk about life and yogurt, because yogurt and life are two key components to a healthy, wonderful being. Yogurt. Yogurt is good. Okay, I want to download FEMA disaster declaration, Open FEMA. So we're going to use Open FEMA, and I'm going to point. There we go, data set, Open FEMA, machine readability, Oh. Yeah. Are we done? Yay! That was only 2 minutes. Okay, so we built our image, and well, the good question here is, what is the actual name of the image? So the actual name of the image will be something along the lines of spring-kt-batch. So let's start a new terminal. Let's go into SSH docker tag right, so docker tag /spring kt batch latest. No such image. I don't have you yet. You're not there. So what was the command to get it? What did I call it? What is your name? Oh, my bad. Docker login. Yay! No such image. Spring KT batch latest. Oh, 100 snapshot. Okay, my bad. Okay. What was my push command? So docker push Mario Gray / spring KT batch. Okay. The next thing I want to do is remember host name, ID, UID. What was that? Oh, that guy. Yeah, I remember you. Okay, so docker run it entry point sh gray / spring kt batch. Was it the name of it? Spring kt batch. Yeah, that was it. Latest. Okay, give it a second. The sky where I am is currently gray. It's been kind of gray here for quite a while. I have a feeling that. Oh yeah, it looks like you're uploading my. Oh okay, that's my timestamp task. You're adding a lot of things to there that you did not need to be adding. Yeah, this is why I need to learn more about the cloud, because I'm ahead of the curve usually, but I find myself learning a lot right now, a whole lot, a lot. So where are we? Opt. Yes. Find. Find opt. Okay, there's nothing there. Find layers. Wait, what? ID. CNB. Oh, yeah. Find workspace. Oh yeah. Workspace. Oh, everything is here. This is the actual. Oh, this is CNB. Oh. Life cycle. I'm not supposed to do this way, but I'm doing it this way anyway. I'm just going to launch a thing. It should give me an error because that file isn't. I didn't put that file there. And what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get that file out here. So that guy ran, right? He ran, but he didn't run with any data. You know what I mean? Like, the guy didn't run with any data. He was like, hey, there's nothing here, man. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And I understand that, but that's fine. I just want to, like, go over this with you guys. So we can reiterate, but I think I'm going to run out of time soon. So I'm going to just go ahead and register an app. Register. Oops. Let's look in my commands. There we are. Spring KT batch. Docker Mario Gray. Spring KT batch. KT batch. We'll call this one name KT batch. So what did I do here? Remember that Spring Cloud Dataflow that I had earlier? I'm going to take the Docker image that I just released to my own repository, and I'm going to call it KT batch in Spring Cloud Dataflow. For those of you wondering why am I at a Spring Cloud Dataflow prompt, well, let's stop wondering that and let's just, there we go. Let's confuse the heck out of everybody by just having an oh, that's mad. Oh, it's very mad. Yeah, I haven't made something this mad in a very long time. Ooh. Kill -9, 90857. Oh, you have to die. God, I had to kill that process. Man, I hate it. Rip that process. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the Dataflow gods, and okay, so right, so helm get info. What is the name of it? Dataflow. Oops, it's notes. I wanted to get the notes. Okay. So here we are. So I don't want the dashboard, because remember, the dashboard will give me the HTTP dashboard. I just want the HTTP endpoint that I can connect my Spring Cloud Dataflow to. And that's it. So helm get notes was my way of finding that export command, and I wanted that export command, and I wanted to get that export command out so I can. Why did I need the export command? I needed to find the HTTP address of the shell, so that I can feed it to my my parameters. So if you noticed, I have a shell running at HTTP 192.168.64.231.495. I could point. I can also, I guess I can just kick off a pod that does the same thing. But you know, you're talking to me right now, and so I'm going to kick off a shell on my local machine that connects to the pod that's running Dataflow server. So I'll do that here, and I use the Spring Cloud Dataflow shell jar file to do that. Okay, so it successfully connected to the target. That's good. And remember, I registered this app. So app list. So I have a KT batch app already registered, because apparently whatever I did actually registered the app. And now I want to create KT batch. So KT batch 1 will be the name of this task. Task create KT batch 1 with the definition for KT batch. Okay, so task list, I have a new task, and I guess I can start the task, but do I want to do that? I want to do task launch KT batch 1. Okay, so get pods. Now, I don't know how to do this monitoring thing very well. I should probably, when I log off today, I'm going to spend the next few hours writing this down and distilling the knowledge that I learned from this myself. But I will launch this task using task launch command from Spring Cloud Dataflow. Now, if you want, I can show you what the, if I want, I shall. In fact, I shall declare that I will show you what this thing here looks like. The dashboard. The Spring Cloud Dataflow dashboard, which is a pretty cool tool. I mean, honestly, you should probably use the dashboard. The dashboard comes in one flavor, and that's awesome. One flavor, awesome. Got it. And so if you noticed, I created this guy here earlier on the command line, and he doesn't have any properties. That's fine. I made this as simple as possible. I don't want to have to load it up with. Excuse me. Yogurt. I call it yogurt. Yogurt. I created it so that I didn't have to give it any properties or any resources. So I created the app called KT Batch 1, which points to my Docker image for Spring KT Batch. And I created a task for it. And I could launch the task here, or I could schedule the task for some other time. In this case, I'm not gonna schedule it on Kubernetes here. I'm actually just going to kick it off. And most people running a batch job won't want to just kick off a job like that. But here we are. in 2020 on Twitch TV, and I'm kicking off unknown, who knows how this thing will execute batch jobs. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll say kget pods, and I should have a pod starting up called kt batch 1. So let's say k log follow kt batch 1. Oh, come on, kt batch. Oh, come on, well, maybe it died already, who knows? Yeah, probably did. K logs, my bad. Okay, there we go. Alright, so, and, yeah, that. Okay, so it doesn't accept, oh gosh, yeah, it does not accept, my bad there. It does not accept those little, things. We're going to have to fix that. Yeah, we're going to fix that right now. Alright, people. Almost done here. Once I can kick this thing off, then I'm just going to log off of Twitch, and I'll leave it alone for another, I don't know, month, year, week, day. Hour, second, I don't know. I'm going to use the Docker plugin right now. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything unsanctioned. I'm using the old Docker plugin because it's something that I know how to use right now, immediately, in this current time frame. You have that, right? So my Docker org is Mario Gray. All right, so we're going to use the Spring Cloud OpenJDK 11 for this project, right? So this Docker plugin is the IO Fabricate plugin. All it does is creates a Docker plugin that will kick off a Java jar from our entry point. Now, ostensibly, I can do the same thing using the CNCF. I haven't dove into the CNCF build packs yet. If I'm saying that acronym correctly, probably not. But I'm not using the CNB, the Cloud Native build pack, correctly right now. I'm using the Docker correctly, which means I'm just letting it do the work for me instead. Obviously, I want to use the Spring Boot version, but let's figure out how to make how to kick off a single job and not scramble so hard, because we are scrambling right now. We are very scrambling. Okay, so we're going to create that assembly file and source main assembly new directory. We're going to call that source main. Is that Docker? Yes, Docker. So source main Docker, and then a new file called assembly.xml. Okay, placed that in there, and we're going to give it the name of our artifact, spring-kt-batch. That is going to be called spring-kt-batch.jar. So we will make sure that the output of the directory that gets included here is going to be called spring-kt-batch.jar, because that's what we want. And let's ensure that we put the same name here so that this guy executes the right jar file. Alright, so Java jar, and that's it. Maven spring-kt-batch.jar is the thing that will execute it. The next thing I want to do now is I want to say maven's clean docker build, and I believe that will build our image. I mean, I don't believe, but it will build our image. Now, the next thing I need to do is go to a chat program and find out what is actually happening. What is actually happening? Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? What did I do wrong here? Yes, it doesn't have an associated file or directory. Well, of course. Docker assembly. Spring-kt-batch. Oh, my bad. Is it com example or is it, what is my group ID? Oh, it is com example. Okay. I got that right. Oh, the spice of life. Builders, the spice of life. Perfect. Okay, so what did I do wrong here? Failed to create assembly for Docker image. Error creating assembly archive. Docker, you must set at least one file with mode dir. What do you mean? Source main Docker assembly. I think that looks fine, right? Did I? Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Well, let's see what did I do here. TWD. Docker. Maven Docker build. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I see. Oh, I know what you want. Okay, I know what you want now. Excuse that. Source main Docker. That is correct. I said at least one file with mode directory 1. Huh? Huh? What? 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 Excuse. Oh. Oh. Right. Alrighty. Let's go back to this guy. That looks fine. I think that should have worked, but just in case. Ooh, what? Am I like in a different computer? Yeah. Open pom.xml. So here's the original Java version. Let's go back to the original Java version and see what I did differently here. And yada 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 yada. There's a lot of yadas going on in here. Let's go to terminal, and let's say I have a pom. Right. Com example fema-batch-job. That looks good. Let's see what this guy looks like. Fema-batch.job. Okay, he looks good. Descriptor is assembly XML. Do I have an assembly? Did I call it assembly XML? Probably called it something worse. Who knows? Who knows what I called it? But hi. You know, you can just go ahead and give me my Windows back. Assembly XML. Oh yeah, it is called assembly. Okay, well they're the same thing. So let's see, Maven clean Docker :build. Oh, God. Just run. Yeah, I'm running out of water. Oh, really? Did I execute it wrong, or did I? Hey, now you hate me today, huh? I executed, yeah, okay, so that's doing the right thing. Okay. Whew. Reading assembly descriptor. Okay, so you found the assembly descriptor. But what is it that is different now? Cannot include project artifact. Does not have an associated file or directory. Oh, filter, common example, feed batch job. Oh, filter create assembly. You must set at least one file with mode dir. I haven't had that error before, so I will find out what is going on. Oh, is that why? Did I not build the whole thing? Really? Did it just come down to me not actually compiling the... Yeah, that's what it is. It just came down to you not building the actual project, Mario. You should know better than that. Oh, okay, so that's what I did wrong. Okay. Well, now that we know. Now that we know, we know. Fire in the darkness. I would like to end this stream with some heavy metal, because there is a certain progression of progression of music that everybody should, go through. And it's really, eval. The eval we do. You ever heard that one before? The eval we do. It's a James Mickens line. It's about JavaScript and the old JavaScript engines from a long time ago, using the eval command for everything. Just imagine, just suck that in, just take that all in. Just imagine using eval for everything in your JavaScript library, and see how many root exploit kits get made just for your library. Just for one library that uses eval. Just all that you need to know is that eval should never be used, because it is evil. Okay, so now we have this guy here again. Spring KT batches in our Docker, and what we're going to do is we're going to tag it and upload it, and that should be it. So I'm just going to push you again. There you go. Now I should be able to just go in here right now and execute it. So task remove KT batch 1. Oh, what was it called? Task remove KT batch. Task. Is it delete? Is it destroy? There we go. App remove. App list. App remove KT batch. App. Oh, it's app unregister KT batch. So I'm going to start from scratch. I'm trying to. Oh. Yeah, I remember. Type task. Okay. Okay. So we're going to rerun these 2 lines of code, literally. I mean, that's all we're doing. We're going to say task, create KT batch 1, KT batch, and then task launch, KT batch 1. And then I can do this. Okay, get pods. I forgot to destroy the other one, didn't I? No, I didn't. Good, it destroyed itself. Nice. Oh, ow. Really? Close you. Goodbye. Did we push you? I still, nope, I'm not me. Okay, that's latest. Okay. Is there a Maven directory? There is no Maven directory. I'm using the old version of this. Ooh, bad. Ugh. Oh, terrible. Ugh, spit. Yuck. Why am I using the old version of this? KT batch. Did I tag it before I installed it in my repository? Am I doing this right anymore? Am I actually typing on my computer? Probably. Just want to run you. But you don't have a Maven directory still. Why don't you have a Maven directory? Why are you still pointing to the version that has the build pack? This is where a local SRE will work. Somebody like Paul will just normally appear out of nowhere and go, Mario, this is what you're supposed to do. Uh-oh. Do you see my screen, people? Alright. Alright. For now, I will just... I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to waste my time by executing the same job. Let's delete you. Remove. Goodbye. Nope. Delete. Goodbye. Remove. Unregistered. Where's that task at? This is for the last hour of everybody's time, the whole person in the world that's been watching this. I'm going to add another application. I'm going to register one. I'm going to call this Schema batch, right? And then I'm going to say type URI task. And then I'm going to give you a URI, and it's going to be docker // Mario Gray / Schema. What is the name of it? Easy history rep Schema. Oh boy. I believe it's schema-batch.job, but if I'm wrong, you're not going to hurt. I will. Yeah, it's Schema batch job latest. I'm going to not use a metadata URL. I will register the application. Alright, so I'm using this. I'm going to create this task here. And this is really cool stuff. I know, use the GUI if you can, Mario. It's much easier than typing commands and having to remember them. But I want to remember them. And remembering them is what I do best sometimes. Not all the time. Schema task 1. Schema, how about Schema task? We'll just call it Schema task. Okay. So I created that task in the GUI, and you can probably see it nowhere. Git pods. There we are. Okay, so there's nothing there yet. And let's see, there's my IDE. I just want to be very, very close to this guy here because I want to kick him off. I want to go launch task. And in the old world, CD workspace, Schema, disaster batch job. In the current world, I have like all of these nice documentations to tell me things. Deployer Schema batch Kubernetes environment variables. Yeah, you can do that if you want. I tried this. I wrote this documentation after a week's long slogging, or 2 weeks long, or 3 weeks long of coding and figuring out how do I run this stuff in the cloud. So what we want to do is give an environment variable, and that environment variable is declared in Spring Cloud Dataflow by deployer dot task name dot Kubernetes dot environment equals, and then Schema file location is the name of the actual environment variable, and then the URL to the thing that I want it to read, the thing that I will send to my program. And I can launch that task. So, okay, get pods, and there it is, Vima task, and k logs minus follow, Vima task. Give it a second, it's booting up. I probably missed the actual name. I don't think I called it the thing that I called it, but we'll find out. So it seems to be starting up and running. Okay, there you go. It ran. Well, that's happy. Oh, but we got a nice error. That's okay. We can triage that later. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. So it ran, but the thing is that Spring Batch was unable to do anything because I think I deleted the job database before the job actually finished running, and I have to fix that now. Actually, that's because I'm using the H2 database, so it shouldn't have had that impact. But let's find out. Let's see what'll happen if I just run this guy on its own. Oh, nice. Okay, so you do have a Maven in here. Okay, so I can do java minus jar, Fima batch job.jar. I imagine this will run differently because I'm not giving it all these environment variables. I'm not trying to tell it where your MySQL is. And obviously, I haven't completely figured this stage of the game out. Right. So we could run the task, but it cannot successfully exit. And that's for me to debug in a later tutorial when I have this whole thing put together. It shouldn't be that hard to do it now, but I'm way over time, and I just wanted to show you that. If I haven't thoroughly scared you away from this, don't worry. This is just me tinkering with things. It's not meant to be instructional. Just know that I'm tinkering with it. I'm messing around with code and technologies that I am trying to sort together in my mind, and I'm getting there. You guys. Now, take what you want away from this. Besides, does Mario know how to code at all? I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I mean, literally. You probably saw it. You're probably wondering, like, does he know how to actually turn an array into a list into an array without thinking about it? That only time can tell. Okay? Only time can tell. But on the other hand, is there a lot going on up here? Yeah, kind of. There's a lot, but it's nothing more than your usual lot. Not a whole lot, just a little, just a little screw here and there. We'll have to continue this later. So I guess I did kind of go from 0 to completion, deletion, error. I went from 0 to error in 2 hours, which is suffice to say, I guess that counts as a successful tinker. I tinkered with Kotlin. I tinkered with Kotlin and Spring Batch. I tinkered with Docker, and I tinkered with, oh my gosh, I'm using Tinker a lot. So it's the discovery phase for me still, people. I'm discovering Spring Batch plus Spring Cloud Dataflow on Kubernetes, and for what it's worth, I actually like the experience. But if I can learn how to write batch jobs, which is what I'm really trying to do, I'm trying to do 2 things. I'm trying to learn to write batch jobs, and I'm trying to learn to use Spring Cloud Dataflow in Kubernetes. So that might be 3 things. I might be doing a lot all at the same time. So forgive me for that. But I got something done. I mean, at least I got it scheduled and running to failure. But it's the toll. It's the developer toll. We're you only know so many people to call out during a stream, and so I just wanted to show you that. Thank you. Yeah, that and take my word for it. Doing all these things at once is hard. It is very hard. And this is why Spring tries to make the developer experience easier. Like, they don't want you writing Docker files. Just use the CMD build packs. Learn how to use the cloud native build packs. Let's see, cloud native build packs. Okay. Yes, Spring. Buildpacks.io. So learn to use this stuff. That's going to be my next place to go right now. Like, literally, like, as soon as I'm done with this stream, I'm going right here to learn how to make my build packs run the way I want them to run. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and send me an email or tweet me at Mario Gray on Twitter, or send me an email, mario.gray@gmail.com. Either way, reach out to me, because I need some cloud perfection here. Have a nice day.